How to make a Minecraft roleplay in the latest versions of Minecraft. Most Minecraft roleplayers feel version locked in 1.12.2 because of one particular mod, Blockbuster. Me personally can't relate. Blockbuster is useful for roleplayers because of its extensive toolset. Now, if you're fine with being in 1.12.2, by all means, do so. There's nothing wrong with using an older version, especially if it gets you the results you're looking for. However, if you're anything like me and you don't want to be stuck in an older version of Minecraft, or maybe you're just curious about your options, I'm here to show you them. To do that, I'm going to walk you through the challenges I faced as a complete beginner on the roleplay scene. If you're familiar with my content, you know I have my own cinematic roleplay series, Fallen, a series I've managed to write, film, body act, and edit almost completely on my own in Fabric 1.19.2, only requiring body actors for certain particular scenes. If you're not a Fabric girly or you still want to use a higher version of Minecraft, don't panic. Much of what I use is available in both Fabric and Forge, as well as for 1.20+. When I started last year, I knew what I wanted my story to be about. I knew the characters I wanted, the places I wanted them to go, and mostly what I wanted them to do. But the first challenge appeared. Challenge 1. How to set up the scenes. I don't know about any of you, but I don't have any friends. So I had no idea how I was going to record at first. I ended up finding this mod called Artisans that let me make NPCs, and I managed with that for about 6 episodes. But these NPCs are very limited. Putting together episodes was tedious, only being able to have one character moving at a time. But then I found it. My holy grail! Mocap. The motion capture mod changed everything, since it allows you to record and replay player movements. Now, not only could I have more than one character moving in a scene at a time, but I could watch it back and make sure I liked it before going into the editing process. Now, there are some limitations to this mod, so if you want to do any of what I'm about to say, you're going to need some friends. Motion capture is great, but you can't use HD skins and you can't record any animated player movements with it. I'll dive in more about how to get animated player movements later. If not having HD skins is a big no-no for you, then the only option I'm aware of is to have a bunch of dedicated friends body act for you. You can use the custom skin loader mod to do this. If you find any other way to do it, then help a girl out. Me, I'm the girl. Challenge 2. How to record it. If you've made or watched any Minecraft video lately, then it most likely includes some form of replay shot. ReplayMod is a popular mod used by many creators that allows you to record in Minecraft. This mod is an essential tool I use for recording my scenes. It allows you to record as far as your player has rendered in Minecraft. All you have to do is record a scene once, go into the replay, and get as many different shots of it as you want. You can even hide characters and players from the shots within the replay if for whatever reason you don't want them to be shown. And you can change your shaders and resource pack during editing, which is at least useful for me when I accidentally record with the wrong settings. However, ReplayMod has its own mildly frustrating limitations. In particular to do with those animated movements I brought up earlier. For whatever reason, ReplayMod can't pick up the person recording performing an emote, but it can record absolutely everyone else doing it. To get over this hurdle, I use an alt account to record, or borrow some friends to help me. Like with this amazing training montage. You think I do my own exercise? Don't make me laugh. Challenge 3. Animations. Now for the fancy stuff. The things that make you go, ooh, wow, that's so cool. Wonder how they did that. Mods, it's mods. I don't know how they do things in 1.12.2, but here in the latest versions of Minecraft, we use Emotecraft. There are a bunch of preset animations you can use, or you can create your own using Blender. It's actually not that hard if you're willing to follow a tutorial. I'm not gonna give you one, but I'll link one in the description. With Emotecraft, you can emote in Minecraft. Yeah. What this means for the recording process is that depending on the emote you want to do, you'll have to time it and act it out live. Just remember, ReplayMod can't record the person recording performing animations. Please, mocap and replay gods, why? There are also a few other mods for animations, but none that you can customize as far as I'm aware. Not Enough Animations adds a few enhancements to default movements like climbing a ladder or holding a map. These are nice for a little added immersion and work with both Artisans NPCs and mocap. Better Combat adds fancy combat animations for weapons. Physics mod adds immersive details like moving cloth, fluffy snow, and moving water. And Pakui lets you edit your player's size, jump height, speed, pretty much anything. I know it's not an animation mod, but it felt appropriate for the list. Now for the last challenge, or at least the last challenge until I stumble across a new one. Challenge 4. Custom models. This is a challenge I'm not the most advanced with, but there are so many talented people out there that are. So I wanted to let you know, even though I can't do it, it's possible. Using Blockbench, you can create custom and animated models to bring into the game. Whether it be custom weapons, decorations, or accessories, you can make anything pretty much. The only way I personally am familiar with how to do this is through texture packs. You see this in Fallen with things like Soul Staff, the Buck's Antlers, and the bunny ears worn by Simon and Moon, which, fun fact, I spent 5 hours making only to realize I could have just added it to their skins like the rest of the characters, but hey, I think it adds to their whole not being a real lappy thing. There's also a popular mod that lets you create custom player models called Figura. I don't know how to use it myself, but I know there are a lot of people that do. Putting everything from the video together, I'd say you can make just as entertaining a roleplay in the latest versions of Minecraft as you can in 1.12.2. I hope I've inspired some roleplayers out there to perhaps test the waters of a later version of Minecraft, or if you've never tried before, I hope I've given you some tools to get started. If there's any specifics you'd like me to make a video about, leave a comment. If I think it'd be useful and that I have enough knowledge about the topic, I'll make a video on it. Thank you for watching, check out Fallen if you haven't already, and I'll see you!